Hello, everyone. We're going to be going into week 2 tarot spread. This is an optional resource. You do not have to do this in the course, but it is available if you would like. We will loop back around at the end of the week and show the after tarot spread as well. But we are on module. Where'd we go? We're on module 5000. I'm not going to have it up on the screen so that you can see the cards a little bit better. All right, so we're going to go into the language of feeling. This spread marks the moment when awareness begins to move from the mind into the body. It invites you to understand emotion not as chaos, but as communication. Every feeling you've been avoiding is an untranslated message from the subconscious, a reflection of your nervous system's history. This is where you begin learning emotional fluency, the ability to feel without identifying, to witness without collapsing, and to understand rather than suppress. So we did the orientation and week 1 spreads the regular way that I usually read. I'm just going to use this opportunity to show you an example of a different way to read. So I am going to set the intention prior so that it gives the cards the opportunity to know where they're going, to go in the right spot. So for my intention here, I'm not going to continue to shuffle the deck. I'm going to shuffle the deck once and I'm going to leave it on the side. Not because of this spread in particular or anything like that, just because I want to show you this way to do it as well. But if you're going to do it this way, make sure you set that intention in the beginning and prepare to do that. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle, split the deck, and leave it off to the side here. So the signal, what emotion or recurring feeling has been trying to get my attention, and what truth might it be carrying beneath its surface? So I'm going to pull 2 cards here. What emotion or recurring feeling has been trying to get my attention? Grief. Okay. So it's interesting because we're talking about the allowance of feelings, and this is the feelings that need to be allowed to feel. So in this instance, I would say sitting with the feelings, going back to our theme this week, sitting with the feelings and not intellectualizing them. The cups is feeling them. And what truth might it be carrying beneath its surface? Fear of handling the emotions in the same way that you did last time they came up. So emotions in regard to, let's say, grief. When I experienced this particular grief before, it was a 10 out of 10, and I only had the skill set and the wisdom of a 5 to handle it. So my brain is like, oh no, that's going to be a 10 and we only have a 5 because my subconscious hasn't been updated to know, oh, that's not a 10 anymore. We've healed. We can look at it differently. Now it's a 5. Now it's a 4, right? We've narrowed it down. Plus, now we have the skill set from the journey from then till now to utilize to handle it as well. So I guess I would say the signal is needing to reprogram the subconscious to know that feeling is safe to do, even if in the past it wasn't always that way. So card 2 is the storage site. Where in my body does this emotion live, and what story or experience might it still be holding on to? So again, 2 cards. Where in my body does this emotion live? Tension, headache, shoulders, tightness. What story or experience might it still be holding on to? What happened last time feeling was allowed? This is a release. This is okay. I'm going to let myself feel it. And the tension is coming because last time it was felt, again, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 10 skill set. Now it's flipped. It's a 5 out of 10 and you have a 10 out of 10 skill set. So needing to update the subconscious. So the storage site is general tension, and the story or experience that it might still be holding on to is last time feeling was allowed. very hard to handle. So needing to reprogram that. Now, the activation point. What situation or pattern tends to trigger this feeling, and what deeper need or belief might it be asking me to acknowledge? So what situation or pattern tends to trigger this feeling? When things go good, then we fear them going bad. When our cup is full, then we kind of hold our breath for the moment when we have to feel the feeling of it being empty again. So ironically enough, joy can sometimes trigger sadness because the brain, again, is going back and saying, oh, hold on. We felt joy in the past and we went from the cliff to the ground real quick. So it needs to be a reprogramming between you and the subconscious that says, okay, no, yes, before something good happened and it was followed by something bad, but I'm going to feed you a different experience, subconscious. I'm going to show you what happens when it doesn't just fail. Because we learned from that, and that was the point or the reason that happened. But we learned from it. We completed that cycle. Now we can step into a different experience. So yes, it's joy. And last time joy triggered pain, or last time joy led to pain. But this time it doesn't have to be the case. What is this? Number 3. What deeper need or belief might it be asking me to acknowledge? Page of Wands is self-exploration. It's adventure. So it may be asking to be acknowledged in the way of what adventures were blocked before, because subconsciously joy, or the thought of joy, was triggering fear, was triggering abandonment, was triggering failure, was triggering those bad feelings before. So kind of just acknowledging in which ways could paths have been blocked before because of this unchecked subconscious autopilot programming that was running. The translator. What internal resource, curiosity, self-compassion, grounding, will help me listen to emotion without judgment this week? So I'm going to pull 2 cards, but read them together for this one. 9 of Wands, Ace of Cups in reverse. Being curious about boundaries. Being curious about where your autopilot response for boundaries lie, whether that's with time management, like people's access to time with you, whether that is self-care, whether that is communication or staying extra at work 5-10 minutes. Where are your boundaries? So what internal resource? I would say curiosity. Curiosity to look at on autopilot, where do my boundaries autopilot kick in? And where do they not that maybe they should? The regulator. What physical practice or truth can help me stay connected to safety when emotional waves rise, reminding me that feeling is not regression, it's reconnection. So what physical practice or truth can help stay connected? 7 of Swords and Queen of Wands. So 7 of Swords doesn't always have to be negative. It's strategy. It is, he's taking these swords and he's going somewhere else, right? So you're taking something you learned and piecing it together with your confidence in a different strategic way. I'm going away from that strategy, and I'm going towards this other strategy. So what practice or truth? Look at when emotions arise. Okay, I'm sad because I'm thinking of that past experience. But flip it. What is some kind of skill or piece of my confidence or piece of wisdom or intellect that I got from that experience? You don't have to shame that thought. You don't have to try and push it away. Just say, okay, yep, sad because of that, but I learned this. it's going to start to shift your subconscious from going, oh, emotion bad, to, oh no, now I'm kind of getting these little reward bubbles when I'm having emotion. Yeah, I had a sad emotion, but I followed that up with rewarding myself, saying, oh, I got this wisdom from it because I held on, because I kept going. So the subconscious doesn't relearn through force or threat. It relearns from a different experience. I mean, does it learn through threat? Yes, it learns what to stay away from. But to reprogram it, you need to feed it a different experience. Okay, so now the reflection prompt. This week, I'm learning to hear what my body has been trying to say through emotion. Let's get 2 cards. What do we need to know about that? Star in the world. This week, I'm learning to hear what my body has been trying to say through emotion, because I'm recognizing that it is in the darkness that you can see your light for what it is. And when you can have that realization, the lesson completes. When you learn that the light cannot be snuffed out, even in difficulty, the lesson completes. So that is how you do the before spread for week 2, the allowance of feeling. Again, module 5000. I will see you soon in the next part.